Hello, gentle viewers. This is Avguardian, welcoming you to Victoria 3. This video today is just a let's look, where we can learn about what the game is like, I can give a bit of a review, and solicit some ideas from you, the viewers, for what I should do next with it. I love the music so much. I'm going to turn down the ambient sound a bit. Give me just a second, and then I will continue the video. There we go. That's better. So we are playing the United States of Belgium, and we are almost a great power. In fact, I think we'll become a great power quite recently. It's 1862. I've played the game since the start, which is in 1836. And while Belgium itself is the same size, we have a reasonably strong colony down here. And we're continuing to grow in Africa. So, what are you looking at? What is Victoria 3? Victoria 3 is a economic and diplomatic game set in the long 19th century. It runs from 1836 to 1936. That features war. I want to be very clear on that point. Victoria 3 is not a war game. Victoria 3 is an economic simulation with diplomacy that happens to have war as a feature. War is part of diplomacy. It isn't an end-all be-all. If you're looking for a game where you're just painting the world in your color, Vicky 3, as presently constituted, is not that game. That doesn't mean it's not a tremendous game that I love very, very much, because, spoiler alert, I do. However, I just want to set that expectation nice and early. I'm going to play through a few years of the game, show some things off, talk about how the game functions as a general whole, and then at the end of the video, I'll give you a chance to tell me which country you think I should do for my full Victoria 3 series starting next week. So, what are you looking at? Well, you're looking at the United States of Belgium. And in case you're wondering why you're the United Belgian States now, it's because there have been some changes to our politics. Belgium begins the game as a monarchy. We are presently a parliamentary, multicultural republic that has census suffrage, which will probably chase a universal suffrage here in a little bit. People can vote their conscience. We do have exploitation of the colonies, but we don't have any police force, because we haven't needed one yet, to be quite frank with you. We've abolished serfdom and slavery. We still allow child labor. I should probably change that. In fact, I do need a new law. And it gives you more education investment. So let's talk about this change here. If I change this, the first and foremost changes will be I get 2 maximum education institution investments, meaning I get more stuff. We'll develop technology faster. However, I will lose any income I would get from dependents, but I'd also improve mortality. But what would this cost us as a law here? Well, the trade unions would love it, and the leader of the rural folk, who I believe is the current prime minister, would be amazed by it. The industrialists wouldn't like it, though. The industrialists are incredibly powerful in our society. We're a highly industrialized country as Belgium, and so there's a very real concern about making this change. We could go for restricted child labor instead, which is kind of the middle ground. And this, the industrialists also don't like, but they don't hate it. So the question is, and this is the balance in Vicky 3, do I care more about making the industrialists happy, or do I care more about actually making the nation better? I feel I can't really consider myself a modern liberal democracy that actually cares about its citizens while still having child labor. We're going to try compulsory public school. So, anytime you start a law, you see 4 values. Either it's going to outright succeed, it's going to advance, being the success percentage gets better. We're going to have a debate about it, which means lots of things could happen, or it could stall. If it stalls, it drops the chances. Now, I have one sneaky way of possibly making this easier. I could kick the industrialists out of the government. If I do that, I kind of have to bring in... first of all, let's bring in the rural folk. They want to join this party, and they're loyal to me. The farmers love me for some reason. What if I take the industrialists out of the government? It's going to make it easier to push my laws, but... how would that change? It's going to make some radicals. It's going to reduce my loyalists. But it's going to make it easier to pass that law. Then again, I don't want to piss off the industrialists. That's the thing. Yes, if they're in government, it is harder for me to deal with them. But there are other things I can do to try to make them happy down the line that will eventually stop them from hating me. So we're going to keep them in the government. We will add the rural folk, though. And because if we get rid of the industrialists, then Mr. Dick Soontir becomes our new prime minister. Let's see what that would do. So he is a reformer. He is meticulous, which means he helps us out with bureaucracy, and we change institutions faster. He helps us with authority. He's a good diplomat, but he is a nut. And so that makes him somewhat unpopular. Our current Prime Minister, on the other hand, Mr. Gilles de Merode, is an industrialist. He's a bigot, so that's not great. He's also a diplomat, and he's also a political operator. So I think we're just a better nation with the Free Trade Party in the opposition. And we're going to have to hope to suck up to them later on. So this is going to be our new coalition. And our new Prime Minister will be Mr. Dichmond, which I think will have some very salutary effects on everything. So I'm going to go ahead and pick confirm. Our legitimacy is still quite high. That will help us out tremendously. And now we have a much higher chance of getting primary school updated. So that's how the politics in this game works. Now, every country is a little bit different. They'll have their own different political parties. They'll have their own interests, their own desires. They'll like some laws better than others. And for every country, it's different. We also have a couple of marginalized groups. These still exist, but they don't count. The landowners and the Catholic Church. That's what's going on there. Because the industrialists don't like me anymore, they are going to reduce our manufacturing tax income. This is going to hurt our bottom line, but I'm hopeful that at the end of the day, it'll still be very, very helpful. So what you're doing when the game is actually running is you're mostly trying to find ways to make money to keep your economy growing, as well as taking opportunities when they come in the game. Let's go and unpause, and let's see what happens. Okay, so the petit bourgeoisie are angry, and they're xenophobic. Let's look at the price report. So, fine art is really low in price. Silk is high, opium is high. Porcelain is still quite expensive. A lot of things we just need to build more stuff. Let's see if we can sell fine art. I don't know that we can, but let's try. We're going to click on the trade lens. Lenses give you a map view as well, but they're also useful for doing things like trade routes. Can I sell fine art? I cannot. Only the people of my country can enjoy my fine art. Oh no, it says I can't export it. Why not? Probably because nobody else wants it, in all honesty. But that's fine. Let's look at our industry. So this is how much money they earn per employee per day. So yeah, productivity is really good. You want it wherever you can get it. I could make it publicly traded, but no, I don't think that's useful at the moment. So let's take a closer look at our food industries. We have 2 states as Belgium, although we're incorporating more. Wallonia and Flanders. Let's look at Flanders. Stupid Flanders. So what is productivity? Productivity is how much each building generates per employee per year. Not per day, sorry. Per employee per year. This is 33 pounds per employee. I've got 30,000 employees. That means roughly £1 million a year comes from this food industry. So it's obviously highly profitable, and we can do things to make it more profitable. We can add additional industries. We can make it more efficient by picking production methods, or we can try to reduce the cost of some of its imports. These are all equally useful ways to make your industries more profitable. We have another option as well to make industries more profitable, and that is to sell them to other countries. If we exported groceries, the price of groceries would go up, and therefore we would make more money. But there's always a catch. You know who else wants groceries? The people of Belgium, the United Belgian States. They like food. I know, crazy, right? Totally unrealistic game. Who actually likes food? They like food. And so if you make your prices too high for certain things, you're going to get really unhappy pops. The population of your country is going to be really grumpy with you. So let's take a moment and see what we could do to make this even more profitable. So first things we're going to check here is we see the price of groceries is very high. So we don't really want to drive up the price anymore. We're also making liquor, which also has a nice high price. If anything, we want these to go down, but let's see if there's any particular goods here that are too expensive. Okay, grain, fish, iron, a lot of our input goods are very, very high right now. So let's go ahead and expand our grain production. Now, our wheat farms aren't that profitable, strangely enough. You'll notice that the number here is white, it's not green. If something is green, it is crazy profitable, and you should probably build even more of it to make even more money. So what's the deal with our wheat farms? Let's look at the ones in Wallonia. We use fertilizer, which is very cheap, and tools. Maybe tools are the issue. We're also not very, we're not very efficient here yet. I haven't invested a lot into farming. I definitely should. I could change the secondary production method to vineyards so we can make wine instead of fruit. If we did that, the price of wine would basically plummet, though. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. Does Belgium have any cultural obsessions? So here is the Flemish culture. They're housed in Belgians. This is other cultures of the same heritage. I don't really care about that. They have no obsession, so they don't really care that much. These are our individual pops. And pops are divided into several categories. They're divided by culture, religion, their job, and their home state. So this is 4.3 thousand laborers. They're all working in our shipyards in Flanders. They're all Catholic. And they're all Flemish. These guys are politically inactive. That means they're not part of any interest group. They don't really care what's happening. They've got their own lives to worry about. And I think this is going to be true for most of our laborers. They're not going to be super interested in things here. We have a lot of people working in textile mills in Flanders. But if we keep looking, we'll see some more interesting choices here. Do we have anybody... Oh, it only lists people in your home territories. I just have the 2 states officially now. Let's take a look at our peasants now. And you'll notice that this group here is kind of grumpy. Why are they grumpy? Because they're all working on subsistence farms. These are people that need other jobs. Subsistence farms people will always be unhappy because they are gated. So if we want them to be more successful, we need to find them jobs. And there's a whole lot of people in Flanders who want some jobs. So let's try to give them some. We're already doing that to a certain degree by starting some coal mines are being constructed. We got some railways, and we're building power plants for the first time. I have no idea how electricity works in this game. We're gonna find out. So let's just unpause the game. I'm going to try not to pause it again unless there's an event to talk about, because I want you guys to get a fair sight of what the game is like. We do have this, let's get rid of these now. Here we go. You'll notice we have the journal up here, and these are my certain goals. I'm waiting to finish incorporating my colonies down here. If we go to the diplomatic map mode, we'll notice that these are all a long ways away from expanding. This is because of severe malaria. We're going to need to find a way to deal with that. Let me lock in my tooltip. And how do I get rid of severe malaria? It doesn't say. It's a technology, I'm sure. So we'll figure it out here in the near future. We also have this movement of people who really want us to do some censorship. It's a coalition of the landowners, Catholic Church, petty bourgeoisie, and the armed forces. Unless their radicalism hits 100, they can never start a revolution. So I'm just going to ignore these fuckers because they're annoying the shit out of me. We need convoys quite desperately in order to be even more productive with our trade. We are lagging on silk and opium. A lot of colonial nations are unhappy with me. Steel's really expensive. Once you get coal mines stood up, actually, let's get some steel mills on the docket. So I'm going to scroll. Here are my steel mills. They're very profitable, as you can see. You'll notice that all of my steel mills are actually in Belgium. Some of them are in South Cameroon, some of them are in Gabon, which are slowly being incorporated to be fully part of the United Belgian States. Let's go and expand our steel production in Flanders by 3. Notice qualifications. There's only so much people can do educationally, and if they're not well educated, they can't work in steel mills. Wallonia has a much smaller population than Flanders. Give me my pie charts. I like pie charts. They make me happy. Detail list, that's not what I want. Is it in my country? I'm sure there's a way to see it. I'm just not figuring it out for whatever reason, but I'm just trying to figure out how many people are in each state. I guess I can just click on the state, dummy. Yeah, that makes sense. Let's shoot on over here. Actually, if I hover over my total population, does it tell me how it's broken down? With 8.53 million people, 6.8 million of which are incorporated, so about a quarter of our population isn't there. We had 3.85 million in Flanders, and about half that in Wallonia. We're also lacking access. We need more infrastructure. I think I'm already building railways here, but if I'm not, I need to expand it still more. I don't know if I need to do what power plants actually do. We're going to find out, though. Electricity can be used in all kinds of places, so that'll be fun. So we're adding some steel. We're adding more railroads. We have an arts academy being built, so I can get freedom of thought and a cool event for that. Let's unpause the game and see what happens. So this is the amount of money we make a week. We make a lot of money because I've got a really powerful tax policy. However, notice we're badly doing on authority. Oh, it's because of the government conflict and because my dude isn't really popular. To improve our authority, we can build government administrations. Let's do that. Because these give... No, these give bureaucracy. What gives authority? You gain it from laws. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens later then. It's not the end of the world. We just won't be able to do as many cool things. So we are now a great power. And all of a sudden, France wants to be my ally. Done. Okay. Okay, the price of fine art is falling a bit. Opium is rising, hardwood is rising, and services is going down. Let's see if we can get some more import of opium, because we don't make our own. You know what, Egypt? I know this is terrible, like I'm losing money on it, but I need the price to fall. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get that done. Is there anything interesting I can add to my journal, I wonder? I could try to get airships. That's kind of fun. Maybe. And there's some other things we could do, but for whatever reason we haven't unlocked these entries. So we're also trying to get rid of the monarchy. That'll be nice. We have a lot of angry people. Okay, we have two routes are now unproductive, which means the price in their own countries has fallen to the point where we can no longer make a profit. We're just going to cancel those routes. We have more radicals than I'd like, but which states are in turmoil? Yeah, it's my colonial states, so they're a little bit less important to me in terms of my population because there's not as many people living there, so it's not the end of the world. The price of opium is still going up, explosives is going up, and silk is going up. You'll notice all of a sudden that our income has dropped drastically. That's because as certain goods go up in price, that causes ripple effects in the rest of the economy. In particular, we need more explosives, I suspect. And we also saw earlier how many peasants in Flanders just want better jobs. Let's hook them up. Let's get them in our chemical plants, which make explosives and fertilizer. Although this here is not making a profit. It's making a small profit, but not a very big one. Why? It's yeah, it's coal and it's iron. Again, no matter how much coal and iron we make, we always need more. So let's go and expand our iron mines, because we've already got several coal mines being produced. What if... that would give us more capitalists. I don't necessarily want capitalists, though. I'm not convinced that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and increase the size of this. And let's see if we can add an iron mine somewhere else, because we're struggling for qualifications in Wallonia. Literally the only state we have that can build iron is Wallonia, so that's fine. We could just make the university in Wallonia bigger to help educate more people more quickly. I think that's what we do. So we're going to do 6, 7, 8. There you go. Let's expand the university in Cameroon, too. Alright, let's go. So we now have a political movement that wants to keep child labor. Or, I guess, bring it. Yeah, to keep it. You got freedom of thought. And this triggers a powerful event. We can either make all arts academies more powerful, or we can make our universities more powerful. I want better universities, please. And then we trigger open arms. And now we are well known. We can get people coming for prestige or migration attraction. Now I'm well above what I need to be a great power, so let's go ahead and increase our migration attraction instead. Let's get more people. More people means more jobs, means more good. We're about to finish attack. Oh, we just unlocked aniline. What the hell even is this? A synthetics plant. Oh, it produces dye. I don't really care about that, actually. I'm not gonna lie, because I have my own dye. Oh wait, can I make silk? Okay, if I could turn wood into silk, that would be amazing. So I need to build a synthetics plant. Let's build one in Flanders. It needs sulfur and fertilizer. Alright. Yeah, notice how few peasants that Wallonia has. That's going to become an issue eventually. It means that there's not enough unemployed people to fill some industries. Let's do that. The Niger Delta could definitely use some more production. But we don't have enough qualifications there. That might be a better place to get raw materials. We're growing plenty of food. Our rubber plantations are doing badly. This is for a very important reason. Nothing I have actually uses rubber. So the price of rubber is incredibly tiny. I could try to export some and drive up the price. Does anyone want rubber? Lots of people want rubber. So I'm just going to start offering it to anybody so we can try to drive up our prices. And that'll help the rubber plantations become much more profitable and thereby let them hire more workers, etc., etc., etc. This is the #1 rubber plantation in the world. I might be the only person who actually makes rubber right now, to be honest with you. This will eventually become incredibly lucrative, but at the moment, we don't have anything that uses rubber, so until that starts happening, we'll be in some issues here. Ooh, we're getting a knowledge of improved fertilizers effect spread. Very nice. Yep, rubber's starting to go up in price. Do I still need more convoys? Not nearly as many. Not nearly as many. Steel is still pretty oh, Flanders needs a lot more taxation. So we're going to do what's called a pro gamer move. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the top of the queue. Because we don't want to lose our tax from Flanders, our biggest province, and our best province. Because it makes us the most money. Who else? Yes, ironclads. This is one of the things I wanted to unlock, so I'm delighted about that. We need to figure out how to get the next tech after quinine. It goes, quinine leads to anarchism. Okay. That's kind of weird. Can get international exchange standards, multilateral alliances. Lets me have a second alliance if I so wish. So I'm not seeing whatever it is over here. Let's look in the production tree. What do I want to gain next? Making steel mills more powerful is always a good thing, but it's not actually what I want. What I want is improved anti-malarial drugs. Let me quickly click on one of these states that's advancing really slowly. And let's see, severe malaria. How do I deal with severe malaria? I'll be right back, friends. I'm actually going to look it up online, and I will have an answer for you shortly. Interesting. So I would not have guessed that. We're going to try an experiment. I'm going to cancel all of my colonies and start them over again. Apparently, it doesn't do anything for existing colonies. It only does it for... So yeah, we're going to do that, and that, and that, and then let's do boop, boop. And then let's see what happens. No, maybe I need to let time progress a bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this run for a week. And another week. And now let's try it again. And then I want to see... Nope, it's still doing it at like a stupidly high rate. I wonder what's going on with that. I'm not sure. That is super weird. Oh, interesting. Okay, if we start construction of a construction sector, it's gonna reset it. Let's try that out, actually. So let's do buildings, construction, add, and we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. So, due to the inhuman conditions that children face in their workplaces, many families have started hiding their offspring. So we could either pretend that we don't know where the kids are, or we can basically start reducing the power of the industrialists. And maybe that's what has to happen. Maybe we need that in the long term. It's going to make people less likely to join the industrialists, which is going to be very good. We have stamped out monarchism. We must put the past behind us. Now, I'm noticing that the change isn't actually affecting anything here, so there's something weird happening. And I've seen, like, different people making the comment. This probably just needs to be fixed with a patch or a hotfix. So for now, I don't mind. But it is, you know, a concern. I saw South Cameroon and the Niger Delta, though. Those are both very wealthy and powerful places. The Mosquito Kingdom wanted independence and didn't get it. Breech-loading artillery. I never did find the tech because it doesn't actually exist, so that makes me feel better. Let's work on the open hearth process. Steel is so critical for our economy. I want to be more efficient producing that. So let's take advantage of our new naval tech, and let's start building ironclads. So we're going to go to the military tab. We're going to pick Navy. And we're going to change this to ironclads. which is going to jack up the price of ironclads. We're going to have to build our own, but we'll get to that in a moment. But it's going to make us a lot more powerful. So there we go. We have ironclads. And these are all fine. Now I'm going to go to a building, and we're going to build an ironclad factory. Probably in Flanders, again, because Flanders... Oh no, it's not a factory. It's a shipyard production method change. So we change the steamships, we'll start making steamers, which are a necessary ingredient to make ironclads. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to do military shipbuilding, so we make plenty of steamers. And notice that right now, it looks like the profitability is going to go in the toilet. Over time, though, this is going to trigger everything. It's just going to take time for us to actually start making ironclads. We just need to let this factory have some time to build up. And I could subsidize it. Let's see how long it takes, though, because it's going to adjust everything. Okay, we're still hemorrhaging pretty badly. Yeah, they're not remotely profitable. Okay, so we're now making steamers and ironclads. Now we need to actually make things even better by adding more ships. So to do that, we go to... We're on the military tab. We need to add more naval bases. So let's go to the military tab. We need garrisons. No, it doesn't show here. It's under development, under buildings. Here we go. So we're going to go and we're going to expand our naval bases, and we're going to add, let's say, 10 more of them. There we go. I could start building a small navy in South Cameroon. There's plenty of people there. But we can worry about that later. Ooh, we can improve the conscription center with shrapnel artillery. Yes, please. We will consume more ammunition, but we can also just expand our munitions plants and make more of it. So I'm not worried about that. And we can now do an industrial port. He's going to start using steamers in addition to clippers, and we're going to make a whole lot more money. Do it. I love it. I love how it all comes together sometimes. So, notice already the price of steamers just shot up, ammunition went up, artillery went up, explosives went down, fish went up, silk went down, tea went up. Because tea is still pretty expensive for us, I'm going to go ahead and expand our tea plantation, which is in Africa. You know what? Let's make this publicly traded and just see what this changes. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make it like that. I'll just make it bigger. There you go. Drive that price of tea down. And if it becomes too low that it's not profitable, I'll just export tea. Everyone loves tea. Each and every human being loves tea. So the industrialists are still quite powerful. Which is, again, it's not perfect, but... Alright. Are there any specific goods that we're hemorrhaging? We're having a hard time making artillery and ammunition. That is easily corrected by expanding our munitions plant and our small arms plant. Oh, it's an urban building, isn't it? Yes, it is. Alright, so arms industries, right now, let's let them make breech loaders. That'll make them much more efficient. There we go. And let's just go ahead and expand this a couple of times. And then let's go down to... Oh, the power plant is done. And there's nothing to do with it. So they're not sure what to do here. I don't think I have anything I can do with it right now, though. I probably should do something about that. Because I'm not making electricity for no reason. But I don't see anything that actually uses it yet. It uses oil. I definitely don't have any oil. I definitely don't want to mess with that. That seems like a bad decision. I will add another food industry just because it's so profitable. And let's get some in South Cameroon and the Niger Delta. They can work in the cannery. Brilliant. We now have ended the issue of that. What is property to women? Let's find out. So first things first. Illegal guardianship, huh? I love it. Do it. Make it happen. But most importantly, now we can also expand our education access. Which is very, very good. I would like us to have more education, please. Thank you. And how is the building coming? It's going lovely. I could probably expand the construction sector, to be honest with you. But it's fine. A diplomatic plague just started. Where at? The US started one against Mexico. Now, I cannot get involved in this diplomatic plague. I don't have any interest there. So we're just going to see what happens with that. We're having an election coming up. It looks like the Free Trade Party is basically going to be a big fat nothing, which is good for us. And the Belgian Workers' Party and Liberal Party will get a lot more votes, so that'll be very helpful. Ooh, overly enthusiastic partisans. Yeah, let's make the industrialists even weaker. The armed forces don't really like me. Which makes all my military goods more expensive. Oh dear. What could I do to make you happier? You'd like me to have either police or home affairs? I get it. Let's take care of property to women first, and then that'll be my next goal. Because you're right, we should definitely have at least a police force. That's just kind of an old thing. Canada and America are now pals. Oh, are you actually a completely new nation now? Or are you still... You're a dominion of the UK. Okay, so you still exist, but... Yeah. We have the British Raj, we have New South Wales, we have Cape Colony. Okay. Yeah, I double-checked this. It's a known bug that it still isn't updating yet, and it's something that they're working on. So, I think I mentioned that earlier, but in case I didn't. Campaign financing. This is a good way to get cheap approval. I'm down for that. Okay, what's happening? Oh yes, I don't make these anymore, so I'm not making any money with them, and this route is unproductive. We need opium and allegedly clippers? I don't know why I need clippers, though. Like, what is even still using them? Oh, fishing wharves. Can I fix that? Or am I stuck with those? Here we go. Steam trawlers fixed. That should completely end any need to have clippers. But we'll see exactly what happens. But I have a feeling that's about to go away. I'm not building everything I could be. That's silly. What could I build that would be a good thing for our people? What else? Textile mills are stupid profitable. Let's expand them a couple times. And Glassworks is always pretty profitable. Let's make some more furniture and some more glass. I also want to build more construction in Flanders, perhaps. Yeah, let's get this up to 10. It's actually 11, but that's fine. And we're probably also going to need to expand the railroad in Flanders, too. Almost certainly. So we're going to go to buildings, we're going to go to development, we're going to go to railway, and we're going to be like... Here you go, Flanders. Done. Very few railways actually make money. The problem is that the cost of transportation only services certain goods, so... But here the problem is I don't have enough engines, so I should probably also expand the coal. Again with the coal mines. I do not have infinite coal mine capacity, game. Cease your lust for coal. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and max out the coal mines. They're always in need. They always make money. Ooh, identification documents. Nice. Yeah, we are losing bureaucracy. This would also be a good time to expand that. So we're gonna go into buildings, development. No, it's under urban, isn't it? And we're gonna go to government administration, and we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a glorious success. The Free Trade Party is now all but dead as a political movement. I wouldn't mind bringing in the armed forces. The problem is that they hate me. And I don't really see any kind of way to make them not hate me. So yeah. I wish I could make the industrialists more happy. I really do. But that's whatever. I'm sorry that you can't have child labor anymore, but that's where we are right now. And we now have propertied women. So the last thing I want to do before we end the episode is, or not the episode rather, because I'm not going to come back to this save on our videos here. Guaranteed liberties would be lovely. Let's do it. That seems like a very good thing for me to do in my Belgium. So, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this look at Victoria 3. So, a couple countries I thought about playing for the actual series we'll be starting would be the United States, Prussia, Russia, or Japan? So go ahead and share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think sounds like it would be the most interesting to see. If you want a more conquest style playthrough, Prussia would be probably the best choice. If you want one that's got a very dynamic political situation, the US. Japan would be a difficult challenge, but one that would still be very, very interesting. And then Russia would be, how can you industrialize a nation from almost nothing, which is still allegedly a great power. Who are the great powers right now, I wonder? How can I tell? Oh, might be in the ledger? Yeah, here we go. So the great powers right now are Britain, France, Austria, Russia, Prussia, Italy, and me. The British Raj is not a great power because it's still a dominion of the British. The US is not a great power. It looks like they've really been struggling of late because they haven't really conquered Mexico. If Great Qing ever modernized, that would be a great power nearly instantly. But for now, though, we have one of the highest standards of living in the world. But we're very small, is Belgium. There's lots of countries that have more population than we do. Including some that are ahead of us on the Great Power track, so, yeah. Given our population, our GDP is frankly redonkulous. There are countries with multiple times our population that don't earn as much GDP as we do. And yeah, like, the British Raj also has way more people than we do, too, though. So yeah, we're a very efficient economy, very powerful. So, again, other countries I'm happy to play, but I just think those would be the most interesting, both from a standpoint of just playing the game, and also from being not too big to fail, but not too small to succeed either. So it'll be very interesting to hear what people think. So, until next time, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this Let's Look at Victoria 3. And I hope it led you one way or the other to decide to buy the game. I hope you did choose to buy the game, because it's phenomenal. Look at the detail. There's a compass and calipers, and another compass and calipers, and still more compasses and calipers. Okay. And then there's some notes. It might be a cigarette or cigar case. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what it looks like to me. But anyway, I hope you all have an enjoyable time. If you have the game, play it. You can share your own thoughts in the comments below. But until next time, this has been EvGuardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.